Hello and SOS from Desert Island, the podcast where we imagine ourselves stranded on a desert island and have to choose what 3 items we'd bring with us from a different category each episode. I'm Alex, and with me are my co-hosts, Mitch and Justin. And today, for the first time in island history, we are welcoming a guest. Denise, thanks for swimming up. Welcome to the
Hi, guys.
podcast.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
You've listened to this podcast before, right?
Your number one fan.
You are.
Wow.
I think you are maybe our only fan.
Yeah.
You're in the running for our only fan.
Well, I'd certainly say she's the one that comments and weighs in most often.
Yeah.
So
I have
is
a lot of
nice
opinions. So.
Yeah.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the right place then.
Before we go any further, Denise, could you give a little about you for our listeners out there?
Geez. Sure. Hi, my name's Denise. I live in Seattle. I'm a school counselor. I'm originally from California. I have a Chihuahua named Rusty who's currently sitting in my lap. And I have a lot of hobbies.
You do.
I'm not going to get into them yet, though.
Would you say it's true or false Rusty has already tried to attack one of the hosts?
That is 100% correct.
Yeah. Okay. I was just
Yes.
making sure I saw it right.
No
Yeah.
blood, no foul. I'm okay.
Yeah.
For
All
now.
right, all right. You won't see it on that jacket.
Thank you.
Mr.
Yes,
Nebraska.
That's right. I don't know when this is going to be released, but today, Nebraska men's basketball team first tournament win in school history.
Don't tell me that. I have
Gotta
them going
represent.
far.
Me too. They won.
It's absolutely incredible that it's taken you guys this long to field a team that is of any caliber. So congratulations.
I think it is the last major conference school out of all of
Really?
them to win a game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Congrats.
no more.
Yeah. Well done.
Go Huskers.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No.
You,
Moving on.
didn't fill out a bracket? March Madness?
I didn't. But go Gonzaga.
What a shame.
Gonzaga's good this year. We'll see what happens. So
They are good.
yeah.
Denise, you hinted at it earlier. You have a lot of hobbies. We're happy to have you join us and talk about something that's near and dear to your heart and probably near and dear to most people's hearts. But you're the expert. So explain how you pick up hobbies.
Well, yeah, is that what we're talking about this week is hobbies?
We're talking hobbies.
I love this.
I buried the lead, I guess.
It was very buried.
Yeah.
It was very buried.
That's right.
Yeah. Our desert island hobbies. What hobbies you'd bring with you to the desert island? But I think maybe first we have to kind of define some of the rules around this. I think there's some rules.
I agree.
I
Like
agree.
what actually constitutes a hobby, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How do you define it?
let's go to the expert.
Well, I have a long list of hobbies. A little background. I have a very strong natural curiosity and a love of learning, which I think I picked up from my mom, who reads a ton, travels, loves to meet new people, is just super interested in everything. And I think I just kind of picked up that love of curiosity from her. From a young age, I also was recently diagnosed with ADHD, which helped me realize that I get kind of obsessive about things and I do deep dives. So since I was a child, I would get really, really obsessed with certain things. For example, license plates. Or I even made a song about the 50 states.
Wait, I'm sorry. What about license
Yeah. What do you
plates?
mean?
So, I was obsessed really with the 50 states. And so I would write down, I would look for all the 50 license plates.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Like
Okay.
if you see them, I get a point or whatever. And then I made a song about it. I was also obsessed with, what else was I obsessed with? Care Bears.
But before we go further, can you sing the license plate song by chance?
Ooh.
It's gonna be our outro song.
Yeah, this
I
one-
don't remember all the lyrics, but the one lyric I remember is, I'd like to go to Idaho, I'll bring you back a potato.
Nice. Spitting bars.
a lyricist as well.
Well done.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was good.
Yes.
What about how do you feel about pencil erasers?
I have a huge fishbowl full of erasers. They're not pencil erasers. They're like novelty erasers. So I collected erasers from being a young child, 3, 4. I was obsessed with them. I also collected little votive candles, the ones that smell good. And I had so many, my mom would allow me to pick out 2 every night that I would like clutch to myself as I fell asleep.
Whoa.
So just, weird. I'm just kind of a weirdo, and I'm here for it. Happy to share some of the hobbies I bring to the island to you guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
What I find most interesting about this, and I'm excited to learn about you, is I've known you going on 5 years now. From day one, we've all referred to you as the queen of yes. We ask you to go do something, and you're, yep, I'll be there. I can see this tying into a hobby, a collection of hobbies. how did you go about picking just 3 to take to a desert island? Because as somebody that's got 4,000 of them, how do you narrow it down?
It's a really good question, and it was really hard. 2 of them stood out to me kind of immediately for maybe practical reasons. The third one I'm still debating, but I think I wanted to have hobbies that allowed me to sort of just do. There's certain needs that you have, right? Like you want to relax, you want to do something active, you want to do something productive maybe. I don't know. So I kind of thought about it that way, but I also just thought about what brings me joy and what do I love to do. So I didn't really think, I wasn't too strategic about it.
I think that's a good way to do it. I think the thing that brings you joy is the critical part, because I mean, this is all you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
By yourself.
You better like it. Well, okay, so that's a really good segue into one of my main questions when we're narrowing down what is a hobby. Is this something you're doing by yourself? Like, say your hobby is ping pong. Do you get an opponent?
That's a good question. I think so.
Really?
Why not?
I disagree. I think if you pick ping pong, it's Forrest Gump style, like the table's folded up against itself, and you gotta.
Okay, maybe ping pong was a bad example.
No, it's a perfect
say
example.
Say tennis then.
No, it's a perfect example because...
Wait, what is tennis but not bigger ping pong in that case?
It's tough to fold it in half and play against yourself.
Right. Well, okay, but still.
So then if he picked tennis, we are going to have to pick him apart.
Okay.
But having a
Okay,
partner defeats the purpose of being on a desert island.
Right, that's, I guess...
in my mind, you get, if you involve someone else, you get this person or entity to do this with you, but you don't have any other interactions with them at all. Like, the ghost of... If it was tennis, it'd be the ghost of... I'm trying to think of a dead tennis player right now.
Arthur Ashe.
Arthur, that's a great poll right there. It's the ghost of Arthur Ashe that appears that only plays tennis with you, but you don't speak to him or anything else along those lines.
You're going to hate tennis if you're just getting served to by Arthur Ashe.
I can personally vouch for how bad he'll put up a fight.
Yeah, I can play for it. He would still smoke me. But I think if it involves a person, they appear in some form to do that hobby with you, but you get no other interaction with them at all.
Okay.
So they serve that one purpose.
Do we accept those rules?
Yeah, for the time being. I think we can make it like a case-by-case basis if we need to. But I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I had another question
Sure.
when I was picking my hobbies. Do we allow for creativity as far as if I have a hobby that requires something else that you might not necessarily find on a desert island? Do I get that with it?
Oh, yeah. Everything to do this hobby to whatever extent you want to do it.
Wonderful.
Even the dead ghost of a tennis player, Mitch.
Correct. Great.
Good call out.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so another clarification. I mean, I really like watching TV. If that's my hobby, do I get all of TV?
You will get the...
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think that's not really in the spirit of it.
Well, when we do a television episode, you'll declare what it is you get. You don't get all of TV.
Okay, well, that's my question.
What?
Yeah, I would say no, you don't get all of TV.
Then
I think you do.
Then you don't get all of books if you're choosing reading.
Correct. You'd have to, I think, pick.
Well, that's what I think we got to clarify here.
We should have discussed this before we
I
started.
think you get a library.
We're doing it in real time.
Yeah, I think you get whatever you want. I think that works. I mean, if it's your only hobby, you get the full gamut of it for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
They have ruled.
I mean, again, case-by-case basis, but I would go into this saying you get what you want to be able to do it.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little different today, right, than the usual format. We're going to have our guest go first. Denise, you'll give your 3 picks for the desert island, and then we're going to offer up 1 to 2 each to supplement your picks for the desert island and go from there.
Yeah, and then at the end, maybe you can choose one out of all of our picks to add to your desert island to really round it out.
I think I know whose I won't be picking.
Oh, man, she's coming for you already.
I was gonna wait, but let's do this now, honestly. I'm really glad you're the guest today because I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, no.
And I'm happy to do this in the most public forum that I have available to me. Mm-hmm. So as you are number one fan, self-proclaimed number one fan, you vote on Instagram for the winners of each episode. And I gotta say, your voting is starting to feel a little personal. I have Exhibit A in front of me. We're talking about comedies, and you said, and I quote, I can already tell Alex is getting booted. I'm not a fan of sci-fi or steak salad.
I'm sorry, did somebody screenshot our private text and forward it to you?
He can't. Don't sell out your
Snitches
sources.
get stitches.
Wow. Had I known.
So,
Would you change anything?
I mean,
No.
should I be taking this personally? We don't align on things we like.
I think it's coincidental.
I think it
I'm
is,
sure
too.
at some point I would happily join your island.
That's great.
We're just not there yet.
Okay.
You're working.
Maybe today. Maybe today I will choose your hobby.
Oh man, I don't think
To-
you will, but okay.
Okay, you're probably right about that. We'll see.
All right. Well, I will try to leave my personal feelings out of this.
Okay.
I don't think you should.
Well, Denise,
All right.
let's hear some hobbies.
All right. So I think the first hobby that I would pick, if it can be considered a hobby, would be cycling.
Sure.
Hobby?
Yeah.
Yes. So I got really into road cycling in 2018. I didn't even own a bike. The last bike I had, I was maybe 8 years old. And my birthday, which is in March, I decided to buy myself a bike, and I made this goal of I'm going to do STP, which for those of you not from Seattle, stands for Seattle to Portland. It's a bike ride. It's 200 to 6 miles over 2 days. Some people do it in 1 day. But just to give you the time frame, I bought my bike in March, and STP was in July. So I had
Damn.
And you were not an avid biker before
Nope.
this? Wow.
Nope. Not even barely with training wheels. So I joined Cascade Bicycle Club, which is great. I did all these programs. I did this like training program, and I ended up doing it, and I survived, and it was really difficult, but it was great. And then I did it the next year, and then I was training to do it in 2020 when the whole world shut down. So even biking, or organized group biking anyway. I never felt better than when I was cycling. It's just such a natural high. The endorphins that I got, I've never been in better shape in my life. I think on the island it would be fun, not just for exercise, but for travel purposes. Like if I wanted to get to the other side of the island, I'm
Sure.
assuming I
It's a
have some
big
sort
island.
of... It's a big island.
Yep.
I'm assuming that, there's some sort of road that I could have access to on this island given... So there's terrain that I could ride my bike on.
Yep.
And also I could potentially, depending on where I am, outpace cannibals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it is a deserted island human-wise, so I don't think you have to worry about other people
feel
eating
like-
you.
There could be predators, though.
I feel like on most deserted island movies, there's usually a cannibal or two.
But wouldn't that make
Like,
it
they don't
not
count.
a deserted island?
No.
We have established that there are monkeys on this island. I think we talked about monkey baseball / monkey, the monkey economy. So that could be your foe in this case. So
Right.
I
You
mean-
can't run anything that's chasing you.
Yeah.
Regardless
Right.
of who it is.
So I
or
just
what
think
it
it
is.
serves multi-purpose. I
Sure.
just think it's fun. I
Yeah.
just think cycling is just fun. It's fun
Yeah.
to go fast. I like to go fast.
Well, you're talking to a couple of cyclists in this room that
Am I?
have
One-
taken it on as. What, you have a couple mounted
Yeah,
on your wall.
Those are decorative.
Yeah, I'll take that one. That's fine.
All right. So, what do you think, guys? Good
Love it.
hobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Love cycling.
It's a great choice.
Do you just road cycle, or do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have not tried mountain biking or anything like that.
Okay.
Have you been riding it all recently, or did it kind of stop
Nope.
in 2020?
Stopped in 2020, tried to pick it up again in like 2023. I don't remember what happened with why I quit. But the last ride I went on was about 6 months ago. I hadn't ridden in like 2 years. And I go to this group ride, and it's an easy ride, and I'm all geared up in my clip-ons and like my spandex and everything.
Sure.
And with my glasses and looking like a total cycling badass. I dropped out after a mile and a half because I hadn't checked my gears before I left, and I couldn't figure it out. It had been so long I had been on my bike.
Oh, no.
So I had to drop out, and it was the most actually I wasn't humiliated, it was just kind of funny, but I snuck out of the group ride and haven't been back. My plan is to hopefully this spring, summer, get into it again though, because it brings me a lot of joy.
That's great. I think there's not really a better way to see Seattle, especially in the summer, than on bike. Yeah, it's like the perfect summer activity.
It's great, and the club that I joined, which is huge, and anybody could just join this club and go on free rides. Does a lot of trail rides outside of the city, but it has a lot of urban trail, like, urban routes within the city. So I really got to see, as I was training, I got to learn a lot about Seattle and just the safety. It was terrifying to me before to think about, like, oh my gosh, are these people crazy riding their bike? And I hate bikers. I mean, sometimes when I'm driving, I still kind of hate cyclists. But when I'm cycling, I'm having the best time. And
Sure.
So that's it.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Love it.
Would you? Is there a particular bike you'd want to bring, or would you just go for any old bike on this island?
I think any old road bike.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not an electric bike.
Sure.
You mentioned your clip-ins. Have you ever fallen because you couldn't get unclipped fast enough?
No, because
Wow.
I don't know why that is. Well,
They're real pro.
I've certainly fallen many times, but not because of the clip-ins. I set them so that they were very loose, and
Easy to
so they're just
come out?
super easy to come out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Smart.
like sometimes they come out when I don't want them to.
Oh.
So highly recommend.
Yeah.
I've fallen over sideways at a complete stop before.
Same.
yeah.
It's the most humiliating thing of all time.
It really is.
Sitting in an intersection with like 30 cars behind you and you
Yeah,
just
just
tip
tip
straight
over.
over on your side. It's brutal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Justin, are you a cyclist?
I've got more of a bus commuter's bod, so I would say
Got
no.
a body built for sitting,
Yeah, exactly. For podcasting,
Oh, that's perfect for biking.
for podcasting.
yeah. No, I'll rent a Lime bike and commute around and stuff, but I can hardly ride a bike, so I would say no. That's not a great hobby for me.
You're a huge line biker, though.
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I don't think the granny glider counts as making me a cyclist.
No, I think if you're on the line, the one with no pedals, that's not cycling. You have to be on the true line
and
bike.
the one with pedals now has a little thruster button on it, so I take heavy advantage of that.
E-bike commuting is legit, man. That's fine.
Yeah,
all
count
right,
it.
all right. Then sure, I am now a cyclist, according to this panel.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mitch, one of our friends, and you and I had a very funny, long-running joke about you not knowing how to ride a bike,
Yeah, it was
despite working at a bike company and having bikes in your apartment.
One of my favorite videos I think I've ever sent to you and your wife Megan was a video of me line biking over the Fremont Bridge, and I think Megan responded, "Wow, you're walking really fast," or something like that as well too. Yeah, it was a pretty good joke for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and you can think about it and spin your wheels, and we'll be right back.
We are back with Denise, who's our guest today, talking about hobbies. We've got cycling in the books on the island. So, Denise, what's hobby number 2?
Hobby number 2 might be surprising for most people, but it is soap making.
Amazing.
God Christ.
This is amazing.
This is great.
This is exactly what I was hoping for with this.
This is so smart.
So good.
I have a passion for soap making and soaps. I've loved soaps
Wait.
ever.
What do you mean you have a passion for soap making?
And soaps. Don't forget the soaps.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about this ever.
Well, come over sometime and we'll make a batch.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing. So I've always, kind of like I was telling you when I was a little kid with the votive candles, with the smells, I've always loved soaps because they smell so good, and I love bath time is my favorite. It still is. I take a bath like almost every night. So I've just always loved soaps. When did I become? So about 9 or 10 years ago, I decided to become vegan after being vegetarian practically my whole life. And one thing I realized was that most commercial soaps have sodium tallowate in them, which is tallow, which is animal parts,
Animal fat, yeah.
right? Like just your mass marketed soaps have sodium tallowate. And I was like, that's disgusting. So I started following just some soap, I started looking online for some more organic vegan soaps. And so I fell upon the craft of soap making, and I decided, why don't I make my own soaps? It's a scientific process. It's fun, but it's science and it's art at the same time, I think. I don't know. I could talk for 3 hours about the soap making process, which I will spare you guys. Really, what we have is you're taking 3 ingredients. You're taking a fat, or an oil in the vegan case, not tallow. You're taking water, and you're taking sodium hydroxide, which is lye. And you're mixing the three.
I think we learned this in Fight Club, did we
Yeah,
not?
that's my only experience
Yeah,
with soap
same.
making.
I am Tyler Durden.
How much did that movie inspire you to start making your own soap?
Not
Be
at all.
honest. Give
Not
me
at
a
all.
break. What?
No. It's really interesting because when I saw Fight Club when it came out when I was like in high school or whatever, but then I started making soap, and every dude that I told I was making soap, which is just a weird conversation to have, but there you go, would be like, I am Tyler Durden.
So you just made me every
High schoolers.
Every high
generic
schooler, yeah.
guy you've ever known. Thanks
Yeah.
for that, D.
Did you say that to me too?
Yeah, didn't I just ask about Fight Club and? you
Oh
were-
yes. Sorry. Let's cut that part out.
Nope, we'll keep it in.
No, leave
keep
it in.
Nope, keep it in.
Okay, where do you make your soap? In your
my
apartment?
kitchen.
Yeah? Okay.
My kitchen. Yes, goggles, gloves, all the materials. So what I use is to make them vegan. I use, instead of any kind of like animal fats, I just use oil. So I use mostly like olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil. There's a bunch of different oils that you can use. And what I like to do is sometimes I'll just make them pretty simple and plain and just add some essential oils for the scent. Sometimes I'll add some additives like bentonite clay or different types of red clays, which absorb oil. Sometimes I'll add like poppy seeds to make it more exfoliant. And I decided to do this not just because I love it and it's fun for me, but also it's a really great way to stay clean on a desert island.
It's good. It's good. It's a good call.
Yeah. This is a hobby that's also a hygiene.
It's functional. Yeah.
So after a long bike ride, I could come back to my homemade hut
Yep.
and soap myself off.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which, wow. Okay.
What
I'm
is
starting to
that?
understand how you
That's
put
another
this all
topic.
together.
Are there any oils or scents that you prefer to make, or do you mix it up every time, or how does that go?
Well, it's been a while. When I first started soap making in like 2016, 17, I went for it, and I was making a new batch every day, and I tried everything. I haven't made a batch of soap in a while, so I can't speak to like what's happening now. But
That's
if I were on this island and I had the opportunity to make soap every day, I would mix it up.
Sure.
There are certain scents that I really like. Well, there's different scent families for soap. There's like the pine, foresty, kind of more male stereotypical soaps, and then there's like the flowery soaps, and then there's what else is there? I can't even think right now what they are.
It's fair. When you make soap, like how much soap are you making at one point in time? How long does that last you?
That's great. Question. Let's say I'm using you can't see this right now on the radio, but I have a loaf that's like this. You pour it in,
Okay.
you cover it up. It's really hot. The oil, the water has to be a certain temperature before you mix it.
Okay.
So you're like, dealing with I feel like I'm in a science lab. So once it's at the perfect spot, or the perfect temperature, you have to mix it up. And what happens is with a hand blender, it'll go through what we call saponification. So it's like a scientific thing. And so once it saponifies, you have to pour it immediately, or else it'll do this thing called seizing, which will ruin the batch. So like if you don't at the right time pour it into your mold and cover it, it'll be destroyed.
Well,
I know.
It sounds very fun.
yeah.
It is. It's like a challenge and it's fun. So then you cover it and overnight, and then you slice it up the next day and let it sit for like 6 weeks.
Wow. Wait, 6 weeks before you can use it?
Correct.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean,
She's going
technically,
to start making this soap
You
before
are-
she goes
You're
for
on
a
the island
bike
for the
ride.
rest of your life, so
Yeah.
that does make sense.
technically you can. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of time on this island, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have your life. Yeah.
It's safe to use after 2 weeks because of the lye. But it's the sooner you use it, the less solid it is. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So it'll just get all watery. So I like to wait 6 weeks.
I have a question about this. So, much like Justin has talked about having large pizzas, not for the quantity of pizza, but for like the structural makeup of the pizza and it being better, is there a certain size that you need to make these? Like, I mean, obviously you wouldn't make like a personal use in one day soap, but that you're making every day. But you know,
Yeah,
do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Is it
Yeah,
like
I
a
do.
bar that you're making, like a
I
traditional
do.
bar of soap?
So there's different ways to do it. You could use a silicone mold with like round little circles, and then you pour it in each one, and then you cover the whole thing. So each one's individual. What I like to do is use like a big, we call it soap molds. So it's like maybe a foot wide and like 4 inches
across. Yeah.
Whatever's the
Sure.
opposite of wide.
A foot by 4.
And you pour it in. And then when after it's solidified for like 48 hours, 24 hours, whatever, you can slice it up. And you can slice up little skinny ones. You can do big fat bars. I have different types of cutters things. So like I have one that has ridges on it, so it's like all ripply. It's really fun.
Do you have a dinosaur shape?
No, I have an owl shape though.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
I do think it would be funny to use just the uncut bar at some point in time, like a giant brick that you're slathering yourself up with as well.
I like thinking that you don't move it around your body. You put it in the sand and just roll around.
And roll around to the top of it.
Or like a
that.
bear is coming out of hibernation
Yeah.
and like goes up against a tree with its back or
Exactly.
something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could certainly do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever sell soap?
No, I didn't.
A true hobby.
It's a true hobby. I made a bunch. I gave it all away, or I used it. I had one friend whose dad loved this one particular soap I made, and it's like the only soap he would ever use. And there was a time where he ran out, and so my friend was like, "My dad needs new soap. What are you gonna do? Can I pay you?" And I'm like, "No, I just haven't had time." So I mean, some of the soaps are really great and popular with my friends and family. I don't really know why I stopped doing it on a regular basis. But if I was on a desert island, again, needing something to do and needing to stay clean, I think I would be all over the soap making.
If you ever make any more soap, will you let us know? Because I'd be very, very curious to get a bar.
I will. I can show you a picture of my...
Desert Island podcast branded soap.
There we go. That's actually a good idea.
Trademark
actually-
that right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You can even make soap with, like I used to make soap with coffee. You can make beer soap. You can add, because you have to add water and liquid. So you can add whatever the hell you want to soap.
Would you just smell like beer then if you use
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, but who's going to smell you?
What's the point of using it?
That's a
Then?
good point.
I mean, I like the smell of beer, but anyway.
I think that's a great pick. A lot of fun. Definitely tests your patience.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she's sharing a photo right now.
We'll get it on
there's some-
Instagram.
Yeah.
Get
definitely.
it on Instagram, and then I have this is a collection of soaps that I made.
Holy shit! Wow.
All the different kinds.
Wow,
I mean, this is just
that's-
like 1 week of soap making.
How?
Obsessed.
Okay. How from that picture you made?
Yes.
How long would that soap last you? That's like a year's, at least a year's supply,
yeah,
right?
it's multiple years.
Yeah, it's a year's supply. Because it's natural, it doesn't have. I don't use palm oil because palm oil has all this controversy around it. I love orangutans, and I don't want to destroy their habitat. Palm oil is in most soaps, and it's what really makes it hard and solidified. So mine are vegan and palm oil free. So they don't last as long.
Sure.
But these could probably last you a year.
Yeah, that's a lot of soap.
They didn't for me because I gave them all away.
Oh, okay, that's good. Or
yeah.
you're showering like 5 times a day or
I
something
do
like that.
take a lot of baths.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, can you use these as like bubble bath too? Kind of? Can you like just like run one under the
No,
water
that's a good
and it'll
question.
like bubble up?
No.
Okay.
Right, well,
I mean, it would just
yeah,
no, it would get,
absolutely not.
it would be a soapy bath, but it would not be a bubble bath. Good question though.
All right. Well. Okay. This is a great pick. I love this pick.
Yeah, this is
Thank
solid.
you.
It's fun.
I had no idea about this about
Really?
you at all. Well, again, when was the last time you made soap?
It's been a couple years.
Okay.
Well,
Fair enough.
You got the time now.
Did you know?
I
This,
did.
did you know this about her, Justin?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
did.
Wow.
Have you ever used any of her soap?
I think you've left bars on your sink, right? So I probably washed my hands with them. I'm almost certain of that.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
You got a review for us?
Absolutely not. I'm not confident what I washed my hands with at her sink.
Or if at all?
It was
I will
it was
make-
rusty. It turns out. So.
Rusty. I can make a commitment. Sometime in the next couple of months, I will make a big loaf of soap.
Cool.
And each of you will get
Is that what it's
a piece.
called? Is
We
a
look forward
loaf?
to it.
That's what I call
Like
it.
bread, not a brick. It's a loaf.
You do have
It's
to
a
eat
brick,
it at
it's
some
a-
point in time.
Oh,
So
got it. Okay, after you.
Yeah, deal.
Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the third one. I can't wait to hear what pick number 3 is going to be. The one that you're not even sure as of this moment what you're going to say.
You're right about that. Well, the third one that I've been waffling between a few. Can I give you a couple that I was seriously considering that I decided?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay. One was tap dancing.
Amazing.
I tap danced for 8 years consecutively as a child. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was pretty skilled at the tapping. I was what was my title in school? The dance captain? The something tap master.
Wait,
Sounds like the dance tapped-in.
The dance tap. I was the dance
Thank you.
captain.
Wait, was that a title or was that a nickname people gave you?
No, it was the teacher of
got it.
the
Okay.
class in my middle school or whatever gave
Got
it
it,
to me,
got
and
it,
I would
got it.
like
Okay.
be in the front row, and everybody would follow me and stuff. So
Okay,
it's just kind of a natural skill
Sure.
that I have.
Sure.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, even if this is not one of your selected 3 hobbies, no one's going to stop you tap dancing on
Yeah,
silent.
correct.
It's a good
yeah.
point.
Yeah,
It's a good
this-
point.
You
That's
really don't
true.
need much. I mean, you need some, but
I mean,
not
I
much.
would need
Yeah.
shoes,
Correct.
but
Learn to make them.
Coconuts.
Yeah,
I
coconut
didn't.
husks.
I didn't end up choosing. I initially thought of choosing it because it's a great workout, it's fun, but I don't want to do it all day.
You ride for 3 hours and then come back and tap dance for 6.
It's not going to happen. So I nixed that, and the other one was my newest hobby and obsession, which is drumming.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I was thinking, okay, that's fun too, but I don't want to do that all day. I was thinking also, if I'm waiting for somebody to rescue me, they're really damn loud.
Yeah, that's good. That's
With
fair.
that, I was thinking more strategically, but I don't want to do that all day. So really the two that it came down to was, and this is kind of boring because I feel like everyone does it, and I don't even know if it's a hobby, but reading,
Sure.
because then you have everything. But then I was thinking, okay, if that one doesn't work, I think I would go with my Nintendo Entertainment System. Big fan of the original NES.
The original. Nice.
Yeah, the original 1985 version. I never even upgraded to Super Nintendo.
Well,
But back in the 80s, every single kid had the NES, and we were obsessed. And I was obsessed, and I would play for hours and hours and hours. And what I love about a Nintendo Entertainment System is video games are fun, obviously. But what I love about this one is it's simple, but you're using strategy. It's entertaining. You can play for hours, and the time goes by. So I think between books and video games, I would pick books if it wasn't such a boring choice. And also, I don't know if books are a hobby because everybody kind of does that.
No, I think it counts.
yeah, I think we count it for sure. Yeah.
And I think that's that's a brilliant pick because you can just unlimited entertainment. Like, there's not going to be a lot to do on the island. So
Right.
Can
Yeah.
I say on the record, I think you're the only person I know that refers to it as the Nintendo Entertainment System in full,
Yeah.
and not just
NES?
Nintendo. Not just Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo is the brand, but then there's the Nintendo.
I would say
I'm
NES.
aware of how that works.
You are.
I think it's kind of funny. Is all.
Checking
I would agree. I think NES is how I've usually.
NES,
Yeah.
the original, the
Yeah.
OG.
Sure. Yeah.
what's your game of choice?
Hudson's Adventure Island.
Hudson?
Hudson's Adventure Island.
Hudson's Adventure
Never
Island.
heard
It's
of
like
this.
a Mario
Never heard of it,
game.
no.
I forget what they call those type of games where you're like,
Like a platformer.
sure.
Yep, that's it. But, okay.
But he's on an island, and he's trying to rescue this princess somewhere in the middle of the South Pacific, and he has all these, snakes and
So
firewalls.
Doesn't that hit a little too close to home?
that's real life.
I mean,
it's reality
so
now.
you know what? Just because it's a little too close to home, a little on the nose, I think I would pick reading.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I think if you pick NES, you get all the games. I don't think that.
I get all the games.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
true.
just get Hudson.
Yeah,
for the rest of your life.
I am a big Mario fan. Mario 1 and 2 were my favorites.
Two is an interesting choice because I feel
I
like
loved Mario
Really?
2. That was my favorite, actually.
because the original and 3 are like the big ones of the NES that were.
The second one's like that really awkward one where
Yeah.
Luigi jumps and flips his feet.
Yeah, and you
as he
pick like
jumps.
turnips out of the ground and like throw them at people and
Yeah,
whatnot.
Oh.
it's strange.
Yeah.
It is really strange, but I can beat it,
All right.
which I like.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never beat number 3.
3's hard.
I can beat 1 and 2.
3's a long game too.
Oh my god. It's never ending. And that pirate ship at the
Yeah,
end.
that shit's hard. That shit's
That's like,
really hard.
you're running 65 miles an hour
It's
to
moving.
keep up. Oh,
it's
I hate that
cannonballs.
thing.
It's hard.
Nope,
Yeah.
forget it.
Okay.
So
So-
the pick you did make. What do you like to read? I know you don't like sci-fi.
Yeah,
How
she
do you
made
know
that.
that?
Not that I
abundantly
picked any
clear.
sci-fi.
Was that more private text sharing?
That's the same private text sharing. That's the only private text sharing.
Okay, got it.
Hmm.
Well, what I love, Moving on. What I love about reading, I've always loved to read. All I did as a kid was read. I like to read a lot of historical fiction, even as a kid. Like, my favorite book was this book called Constance, which is about early Plymouth. And it's kind of like a historical romance, but she's like, 16, because they got married at 16 back then, or
Sure.
even younger. But I was just talking about this book today with my friend at work, because we did this thing at my school yesterday called Battle of the Books, where the kids are in teams and they pick, or no, they don't pick. The school or the district picks 12 books for the kids to read, and then they have a big like tournament at the end where they have to answer a bunch of questions. So I helped score this yesterday, and the book, there was the 12 books, but I was talking to my coworker who had a conversation with the kids about like what book was their favorite, and so she started listening to it on Libby, which is like the app. And so I was thinking about like, gosh, I would love to listen to my favorite childhood book, which was called Constance. I couldn't find it today on my drive home. But anyway, I've been thinking a lot about books, and now, these days, I love nonfiction, but I like to switch off. I feel like I'll read a couple nonfiction books because I like to learn about like sociology type stuff, history. But then I'm like, I need an escape or a story or something fun. I do like fiction, literature, modern stuff. What else do I like? I love historical fiction. I don't know. I don't think there's really a genre of book that I don't like. I'm not really into sci-fi.
Yeah, that's a pretty pointed book.
I never thought I was a fantasy nerd until I fell in love with George R.R. Martin. I read the whole Game of Thrones series. Obsessed.
Oh, okay. So, I was gonna let this go. We have to clarify something.
Here we go.
I picked fantasy books.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Mitch
well,
picked sci-fi books.
well, maybe then I picked your island.
Thank you.
Well,
This is what I'm saying. I think you're right. I
picked
think
my island,
yeah.
so
Oh, I picked Justin's island. We both lost.
Okay. I think this is great though, like, because you don't have to limit yourself to a genre either. You can, get your historical fiction and then switch to something else and switch to something else. I think you get the library of your choosing. Right?
yeah, books is a good pick.
I think you get any book you want. I think that's part of the game here. So it's a good choice.
I think
And
for
you
sure.
never run out. And I think with these 3 picks, it's like I get my exercise with one, I get my creativity and hygiene with the second.
Sure.
And then with the third, I get to relax and just,
Yeah, escape.
escape.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
So those are kind of like 3 different types of hobbies, and I stand by those choices.
Yeah,
Great picks.
great
Yeah,
picks.
yeah. I think
Guys.
those are fantastic.
Yeah.
I have no notes. We're gonna take another quick break, and then we're gonna give you some other options to maybe take with you.
Oh, great.
Be right back. And we're back. Denise, you have some great hobbies. Your island is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to try to make it a little bit more fun. So we're going to go around the table here and each tell you a little bit about one of our hobbies. And then at the end, if there's one that you want to add to your perfect trifecta over there, then you can do so.
Great.
Okay. I will start us off. My hobby is photography. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of basic, I guess, but everybody does it to an extent these days with their phones. But I'm talking real cameras, plural, real lenses, big lenses, professional editing equipment. I want a printer. I want to be able to hang prints of my photos in my little hut and, make a book when I get rescued. So, I've been into photography since I can remember. My dad is a big photographer, and he got me into it, and it's kind of one of those things that we can kind of share with each other, which is kind of nice. He, to this day, sends me a picture every day, and it's we laugh about it, Megan and I, and it's so funny because instead of having one email thread that is photo of the day and just like replying every day, he sends me a brand new email every single day with a different subject line that's some variation of photo of the day or today's photo or whatever. And so I've got hundreds of these in my inbox just like hanging out there now.
Cool.
Anyway, I like photographing wildlife, landscapes, just kind of like the little things in life that when the light just catches something, right, and it's kind of just like a moment in time that you want to remember.
It's great.
I have a question.
Hit me.
Describe your island quick, because do you not think you will run out of stuff to take photos of?
No, I don't.
Ever?
No. I'm doing this thing right now where I'm trying to take and edit and post one photo every single day. And I mean, just because of my schedule and when I get out of the house, it's usually on a dog walk. And I walk, the same 4 or 5 routes every day. And I'm still not, I'm still got new stuff to take pictures of. Sunset, sunrises, jungle, desert, get weird with it and make sand sculptures and take pictures of that. I don't think it would get boring.
I love
and
it.
then editing is like a whole other aspect
Art,
to it.
yeah.
It's like you can, make anything look like anything these days with the software.
No, that's great. I was just challenging it a little bit.
No, I appreciate it. And then I've gotten really into like actual physical prints of photos lately too. So I make like a year recap book every year, like a little one, and then we've got a number of photos hung in our house.
Have you ever done any darkroom work and like actual processing of it?
Yeah, a little bit. I took one class in college that I did some of that.
Very nice.
It's pretty cool. Film is hard. I'm much more of a digital photography person. Film is very cool, but it's trickier to.
I've always been scared to do it because I saw Ghostbusters 2, and when they're processing those photos
the documentary, by the way.
for sure.
Correct.
Yeah, the pictures of Vigo and everything lights on fire and they're trapped in the dark room. Terrifying. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, I mean it's a scary scene.
It's a real fear. No one's there on the island to save you.
That's true. That's very true.
Vigo will find you.
Do you have a favorite camera that you've owned?
Yes. My favorite camera it's a Canon. I think it's like a Mark IV or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how I got it.
Did you kill someone?
No. It's a relic from an old job.
Oh.
That I ended up with.
Like,
he wasn't supposed to take it with him.
yeah,
so
I get that. Well,
you've already said too much.
Play the bit out, man.
Yeah.
When you're like,
no, can't do it.
Thanks,
Can't do it.
COVID.
You're selling
porn or something like that.
No.
Okay.
No. But and I've got a couple lenses for it. So I've got one that's like a 50 millimeter, just standard. What kind of lens is it called? I can't remember. 50 millimeter lens.
Sure.
And it's really good for portraits and landscapes. And then I've got a zoom that's good for wildlife.
Nice. I've seen your photos. You are a very good photographer, for sure.
I meant to bring that print, that band print.
Oh, yeah.
It's like sitting by my door.
I know where you
forgetting.
live. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anyway, photography, that would keep me busy for a long time. I'm a creative person. I want to be creative on the island, so that's my pick.
yeah,
Great pick.
nice, great pick.
All right, Mitch, what you got?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, and I'm taking this in a slightly different direction, in the sense that this isn't a hobby that I have, but it's one that I've always wanted to get into, and would be great to have on a desert island. The answer you're probably expecting is golf, and I'm not going to pick that because I'm just not going to do it. I don't need a lifetime of pain and sorrow being stuck on an island.
What would your handicap be, though?
I don't know. It would probably be very
Whatever
good.
he says it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
On this
there's
course?
I don't think
This
there's
island
a
course?
monkey golf handicap that's going on this island. But I would pick woodworking. It's something that I've always wanted to get into a little bit further. That did it a little bit with my dad growing up. My grandpa lived on a farm, and there was some kind of full like shed / workstation out there. But yeah, I always like building things. I like creating things. I think that'd be a good outlet therapeutically in terms of the process of building stuff. Being on an island, being able to build a boat to get around or whatever else it would be, being able to build a bigger structure to live into.
A TV stand for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Correct, exactly. Yeah, that would go with that. But yeah, I've always wanted to get further into it. Living in a city life, it's hard to have any access to those types of things as well too. But
It is.
yeah, it's a little bit challenging there. So yeah.
You said you've done a little bit of this in the past. What have you made?
Made a couple birdhouses. Made a chair when I was a kid as well too. Yeah, I know. Made some shelves, which it just sounds like a 2x4, but it is some actual shelving as well too. So yeah, mostly smaller things overall. So
How do you feel about whittling?
Haven't really given it a serious thought at any point in time, but it feels like it'd become part of my repertoire, if I was on the island.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you got to have something to stick on the shelves.
correct. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
Can you define whittling?
Whittling would be like working a piece of wood down manually using a knife or something else along those
It's like
lines.
sculpting out of
To
wood
make
in like a chisel.
Yeah.
So like you'd take a chunk of wood and sculpt it
Okay.
into a bird.
A bear?
Yeah.
You take
Some
a
kind
piece
of
of wood
some
and
kind
make
of
it,
bee animal.
or a smaller piece of wood is what it would
Yeah.
become.
So it's like the more artistic part of that. Got it.
Yeah.
You made a knife.
You made a stick.
You used a knife to make a knife.
Knife, yeah, exactly. It's gonna be innovation, damn it.
Yeah.
So
That's a really great pick, and I don't know that it's going that different from a creativity standpoint than like photography. It's just a different medium.
Yeah.
I think that what I'm hearing so far is everybody needs that creative outlet in this group to get by on the island. So I think that's a really cool pick. Very different too.
thank you. Yeah, I would also, again, in this fake world, if we have everything at our disposal, would be able to create furniture and get different types of stains and have that kind of finishing element that would also scratch that creative itch in a way that others wouldn't.
You can
do.
make frames for Alex's photography.
I could.
There you go.
Yeah, I could.
You could make a house
I could
for yourself.
Exactly. That's the big one. I can make a soap holder for all
after the frames.
Yeah,
Soap
the frames.
holders.
Yeah, soap holders. There's a lot that's in there as well too. I could make clipless pedals or the clips that go for the pedals
For your bike.
for your bike. So
love it.
there we go.
You're gonna get so good.
It's a great
I'm gonna be great. Or I'm gonna cut my hand off at some point in time, and that hobby fucking sucks.
And then
at that
bleed
point.
to
So,
death.
yes, either or. So
I love that you picked one that you're not super into right now. Too.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, what a better time to like grow into a new hobby than when you're stuck on an island.
100%. That was part of it. It's like, I mean, I play a ton of golf now and still love it, and that doesn't change anything. But I'm like, I might as well take on something new that is also useful that I have wanted to get into further at some point.
Yeah.
Too. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So you took the ambitious hobby approach, something you'd...
Yeah. Again, I've got nothing else going on this island. I may be hanging out with these monkeys living on the other side of the island every now and again, trading coconuts, and that's about as far as I got for interaction. So I might as well pick up something new.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Justin, take us home.
Yeah, mine's pretty simple. I went to art school. I've drawn and painted since I was 3 years old. If I'm going to narrow down a medium, I think I'm going to take watercolors to my island. I can and have worked a lot with oils and acrylics. I always considered watercolors to be too elementary and beneath me to work in the medium, so I'm not very good at it. And I think it would give me an opportunity to enhance my ability, challenge me a bit, because people that work watercolors really, really well, it's actually one of my favorite mediums to view. So I think, similar to Alex's thoughts on you don't run out of stuff on an island to take pictures of, there's always going to be inspiration to paint, and the stuff in your brain is, always going to be something you can try and replicate on paper with watercolors. It's also clean.
Yeah.
Oils and acrylics are kind of a pain in the ass to clean up, and even though I know we're saying we have the ability to have what we need at our disposal to do the hobby, I want something that's not going to create a chore for me when I'm all done. So
Sure. I mean, cleaning is never fun, no matter how you look at it.
that's
So.
exactly right.
Yep.
So you need something easy.
Watercolor is actually really difficult. I mean, kids do it, sure. I remember watercoloring, but to be a really good watercolor artist is very, very difficult.
Absolutely, and that comment just shows my ignorance, like from how I viewed it when I was younger. If you were a good painter, you had to be able to work oils to be considered like a really fine artist. And I think in retrospect, I would have spent more time getting better at watercolors.
The ocean too. I mean, what a venue to paint. I mean, it's gonna look different every day. It's gonna be endlessly inspiring.
Yeah, and quite honestly and admittedly, it would tie into another hobby that I don't have to have anything for, and that's birding. When I sneak out into the trees and spot one, I can be inspired to paint it. So
There you go.
There you go.
be cool to do a toucan.
What's the best bird you've ever spotted?
That's a good question.
Spotted.
Yeah.
The blue-balled titbush.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Denise.
It's not an R-rated
So I
podcast.
actually
That's a bird.
track a lot in Merlin, but there's a really small endangered type of finch that we saw. I think a finch. It's in that size down in Australia in 2019, but I can't for the life of me remember what exactly it was. But it was so many different colors. One of the most beautiful birds I've ever seen. But good luck trying to come up with the name of it.
Do you have a favorite Seattle bird?
The crow.
Interesting.
Nice. Good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They're so big here.
Yeah, they're
it's
huge.
kind of funny because they steal the show. If you're listening to a bush full of birds and you're like, oh, I want to try and identify one or two, the crow will chime in and you can't hear anything but that evil squawk. So
Yeah, they're something for sure.
yeah.
Would you
So that's
ever
kind of a joke.
consider?
It's essentially the American magpie. I expect it to peck my eyeballs out someday. So
Would you ever consider doing the big year?
in a second.
Yeah.
What is the big
What's
year?
the big year?
The big year is you spend 1 year hunting birds and you try to accumulate the highest count of birds spotted.
Just like different.
Different
types
types,
of
yeah.
birds.
So like identifying in one day, you see the crow, a pigeon, a fucking goose, whatever.
You're in Seattle.
On a
But
good
it's
start.
like a competitive sport.
Really?
I mean, there's a movie about it.
Very competitive.
Was
yeah.
it Ben
Oh,
Stiller? Who was in that movie?
it's Owen Wilson, it's Steve Martin, it's Jack Black.
It's so.
What's it
it's
called?
Great.
The Big
It's
Year.
called
It's
The
called
Big
The Big
Yeah.
Year.
And there's multiple types. So like some people will do global. So who can get the actual global record? There's regional. Who can get like the US's highest for a year?
Wow.
You get certain gimmies. So like if you're in Seattle, you pretty much get the crow. You don't have to prove it.
Yeah.
Just being in the region. But as you get into more rare birds and stuff, having eyes on them, some people are more purist about it. But I think to really get credit for it, you need to either have it documented or have somebody verify it
I was gonna
with you.
ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a photo or something else
Yeah.
along those
So-
lines?
So
Yeah.
I don't
Does
know
not-
the full rules.
Does
but
not go by the honor system.
I don't think for the real birders it does. No.
Is this like an app that people track it through at this point, or how does that work?
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
I.
called
That's what I
Pokemon Go.
use.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use an app called Merlin.
Oh, okay.
I don't. It's a good question, Denise, but I haven't done the research to actually know what rules I need to follow for the big year.
Sure.
So-
I'm sure. Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Have you ever been swooped by a crow in Seattle?
I think I have. I think it tried to rip that little like bean off the top of my baseball cap.
I've had that happen to me too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I was walking
Yeah.
my dog, and I think our dog just like goes ape shit over crows. Like they have a beef, and I got swooped and like followed. And
Wow.
Yep.
Aren't
Our
crows?
buddy's got a really great video. Maybe you've seen it, Mitch. Of Patrick. He removed the body of a dead crow from his backyard, and they started attacking him.
No, I haven't
And so,
seen that.
so he took a video of himself, and you can see the crow coming down from behind him and attack him. It's really solid.
that's amazing.
Crows are very intelligent, I hear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they recognize certain human voices, and if you leave them treats, you'll be their best friend, and there's like a whole.
Rats do that too.
I love rats.
They can't fly though.
What is a crow but a sky rat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Gross.
it doesn't matter because birds aren't real. They are they're drones at the end of the day. So
They're dinosaurs.
yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for our conspiracy theories
Yeah.
episode.
Oh,
of
that's
this
a
podcast.
great idea.
Top 3 conspiracy theories.
Let's roll it tonight. I'm ready to go.
I have a great video that I took in Ballard maybe like a year ago. We were woken up by just a murder of crows outside. It was so loud, and there was like hundreds of them just hanging out outside one morning.
Yeah.
Don't know what was up.
Yeah. I
Fucking
don't know.
buzzards.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, back to your actual choice, watercolor.
Yeah, derailed.
What size you working on? I mean, paper, you can cut it up, but...
Variety.
Yeah.
I think during the early onset of the pandemic, I was doing like 4x4s, 6x6s
Oh, cool.
because it was about like just churning different things every day. But I think it'd be really neat as you get better to do a large scale watercolor. We were just at the Seattle Arts Museum, and they had a whole bank of really excellent, oversized watercolor paintings by local artists, and they were my favorite of the day. So I guess I would just want a variety of sizes to work on.
Did you keep the stuff you did, the 4x4s and 4x6s?
I have some of them, yeah.
Cool. Share them out?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's get
if
some
you
photos
share your photography, I'll share some watercolors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
There we go.
All right. I mean, those are 3 pretty good hobbies, pretty creative outlet hobbies. Denise,
Yeah.
you want to add any of these to your island?
I do. I love all of them. I love the creativity. I love the artistry. I think for pure practicality, I would invite Mitch to my
Wow.
island.
Okay.
I think I would love for you to build me a big, like, 2-story house.
Sure. Might take a while, but I'll get there.
So I don't know if you get Mitch. I think you just get his hobby.
I will take the hobby.
Okay.
Oh, so I have to do the
agree.
hobby?
Yes.
I think so,
Okay,
yeah.
I might choose differently.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You're gone, Mitch.
Damn it.
You don't get me.
I
don't
thought
agree to
that,
these
I
rules.
had like a servant
You get a
to do
carpenter
the
as well.
hobby, to whittle
Don't
for
fucking
me.
pick me in that case.
I mean, if I had all the tools to learn how to do it, I would probably pick woodworking. I think it's a great choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that
Very
too.
cool. I did too.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very fun island. I think a lot of us would probably just like choose to go there, shipwrecked or not.
Yeah, doesn't sound bad. You got a lot of fun hobbies.
Yeah.
So this is the point in the podcast where we usually read some comments. We don't have comments today, but what we do have is maybe something better. We have Denise's original non-whittled down list of hobbies that she was choosing from.
Yeah.
Mitch, you want to read us?
These are the
Yeah.
real deal, right?
This-
Denise, like by your own admission, these are things that you have taken on at some point in your life as hobbies.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
This is a list. I'm
deep breath.
going to read these straight through. We can pause on any of these at any point in
Yeah,
time.
we might have to.
I think we're
because
going to have to because
questions.
there are. Okay. So
I saw you scrolling over there.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the ones that Denise has already talked about. There's the states and license plate frames, NES, soap making. From the top, fragrance collection. Well, I think that goes into soap making as well. Crochet, cycling, drumming, Dutch.
What? Wait.
like
Like-
Dutch, like
Dutch.
speaking it.
Well, it just says Dutch.
I take Dutch lessons.
There we
No
go.
way. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Followed by Japanese, which I'm assuming is.
I tried to learn Japanese in 30 days. It didn't work.
Did you
I
do the
remember
full
that period
30
of your time.
days?
No.
And then okay.
I did about one day. I wonder why it didn't work.
I think yeah. I think day 2 might have yielded some better results.
I got
Yeah.
really into Tokyo Vice and bought a learn Japanese in 30 days or less. And surprise, surprise, it didn't work.
What is it? Ansel Elgort.
Yeah.
Would you say that you're easily sold on things that you see
time.
online? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can buy that.
I recently bought on Instagram it's like a Stairmaster, but it's like a little one, and you just stand on it and you kind of back and forth, and it's ridiculous, and it's still in the box.
Okay. We're gonna keep going. There's some music ones in here. So ukulele, bass guitar, acoustic. I'm assuming that's guitar, and piano. So those are all good choices.
So I thought when you said drumming, I thought maybe you were going to say like making music with a band, which I think we would have had to have the conversation about if that's legal. I guess we don't have to have it now, but
yeah.
I was picturing it by myself, but
Yeah,
that's
so
a
was I.
that's a much better idea, and I
yeah,
like
just
that.
like jamming with musicians. all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have to be dead and in ghost form.
Yeah,
though.
that's correct.
Okay.
We're gonna keep going.
Does that mean wait? Does that mean you can pick any dead ghost musician?
I think
Because
so.
I might
Lane
change my
Staley.
pick here.
Jackson.
Lane
No.
Staley's got to be your front.
Like you say, Michael Jackson.
I love Michael Jackson. Sorry, that might be
not
controversial.
great in a band though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Can he play guitar?
Yeah, maybe not. I would pick Robert Plant. Anyway, keep going.
It's okay. We're gonna keep moving.
He's alive.
We're not even a quarter of the way through this, so we gotta
Correct.
keep moving. Makeup, nail art. So we talked about that. Bird watching. We can kind of touch on that a little bit. Tap dancing. Yep. Erasers. Vintage mixed media. What does that mean, Denise?
I don't even know.
Okay.
What does that mean?
No way to know.
We don't know.
I think I was drunk when I added that.
Eight
Right.
tracks.
Great news.
Just 8 tracks.
Gonna keep going. Ceramics. That's actually a good one.
That's a good one.
Yep. This I'm gonna read this verbatim. One boxing class is what this says.
Okay.
Was
Hold on.
Does that mean you took one boxing class?
I did.
Okay.
I really liked the idea of being a boxer.
Okay.
So I took one class. Well, I don't know if you could consider it having taken the class because I lasted about 5 minutes, and during the warm-up, I almost passed out. I burned more calories in 3 minutes than I had in probably 2 years, and I had to duck out.
What was the warm up?
Yeah.
Oh, it was jumping jacks, burpees, push-ups. I mean, I can't even do one push-up. So I was like, this is the warm-up. So I eased
Walked
out.
right out.
Did you leave in the middle of the class?
I literally left. I was there with a friend, and I was like, hey, will you return my jump rope? Because I was too embarrassed to go to the front and drop the jump rope off.
Yeah.
4 minutes into the class
Sure.
to show everybody that, and it was like all these buff dudes and like a couple really buff women, and then me and my friend, and then I realized that she had my car keys, and so I sat for an hour on the leather couch in the lobby and read boxing magazines
Amazing.
for an hour while she finished.
So you still had the interest, even though you realized how hard it was. That you're like,
learned a
I'm
few
still going to look at
things.
the pictures.
I learned about like the different weight classes, and
That's a great one.
I didn't give him a
One
chance.
boxing class.
All right, we're about halfway through this list.
oh no,
Travel books. Is that like a collection type
Reading
thing?
I certainly have many, many, many travel books.
Okay.
Yes.
You did say you're obsessive
I have,
at
Yeah,
I
research.
have about
think-
50 on Scandinavia, but anyway, keep going.
I think those would
Great.
be in your library.
Yoga.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Tennis, skiing, crosswords. Skiing on the desert island.
Hey, she didn't pick it.
She didn't pick it.
I know. No,
it is a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a very valid hobby. I just
Do you
think
ski
on
at the
desert islands,
expert
it's funny.
level?
I did. I haven't skied in years, but as a high schooler and college student, yes.
Okay. This next one, you're going to have to elaborate. It just says deadhead.
Oh, I recently became a deadhead last
Recently.
August of 2025. So I was born and raised in San Francisco. My parents listened to they weren't deadheads by any means, but I knew some song, like I knew,
Sure.
Riding my train, high on coke, with
Yep.
Casey Jones.
Yep.
I knew a couple of the hits, but what made me into? Oh, I know. I was in San Francisco last summer visiting my family, and Dead & Co. was playing, and my stepdad had all these tickets. I guess he had a ticket for himself and my sister, and my other sister's husband didn't have a ticket for me, and it was the 60-year anniversary, 60, 50? Something like that.
60 feels right.
I think
That makes
60.
sense. Yeah.
It was the 60-year anniversary of like the founding of the
Oh,
Grateful
cool.
Dead. And it was also the same week as Jerry Garcia's birthday, which is like a huge deal in San Francisco. There's Jerry Garcia Day, and everybody goes to this park and does this thing. I don't even know. Gets really high, obviously. And so I somehow I was jealous that I wasn't able to go just for the experience. So I decided just to start listening to Grateful Dead nonstop, just kind of as what did I miss out? And I totally fell in love with them. I listened to them nonstop for like probably 4 or 5 months.
Sure.
I still listen to them, but I think the best. There's something about the Grateful Dead, like when you hear their music, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy.
That's
I went
fair.
to a show recently, a cover band of them, Grateful Shred, in
Nice.
Seattle.
That's a good name.
And it was, and I snuck into the very front row. I was like hanging over the stage, and it was mesmerizing, and I was just completely enthralled.
I get it. I don't like jam bands overall. Like, I'm not a huge fan, but I have seen Dead & Company live, and I remember after the show, I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand the appeal of this being live and the people and everything else as well, too. When I saw Deadhead, I'm imagining you, like, doing whippets in the parking lot, / like, eating grilled cheeses or something
Huh?
like that.
I don't even know what that means.
What? Whippets?
Whippets,
Like-
grilled cheese?
Like, okay, so...
Is that some Midwestern thing?
No, it's like a Colorado thing. It's like a jam
Oh, well.
band thing. It's a jam band thing. I mean, like, it's like you pre-funk or pre-game the show, and like there's a whole lot culture that's set up around the Grateful Dead. in
Give
terms
her
of,
a
like,
break,
traveling
man.
people.
So, like,
She just got
like
into this
fish
last
heads?
August.
Yeah, like saying. I mean, it's
Got it.
it's like the Venn diagram of Fish fans and Grateful Dead fans would just be a circle at this point.
Right,
So you know, okay, that's good. We keep moving. Care Bears.
Yeah. So, I was a big fan of Care Bears in the 80s when I was a kid. had the little, had some of the plushy toys, had some of the little figurines. Every time I stayed at my dad's house because he didn't want to really parent, he would take me to Blockbuster and I would rent Care Bear movies. And so I'd watch Care Bear movies. And then what happened was, I grew up, Care Bears kind of died out. And then in my early 20s, actually when I moved to Seattle, there was a Care Bear resurgence, like at the 20-year anniversary. And I got obsessed. And I'm like 22, 23, but the nostalgia of my childhood and my love for Care Bears came back. And so I had to go to every Claire's. I don't know if you know what Claire's is.
Yeah.
It was like a store where you like get your ears pierced, and it's for tweens. And I had to get the whole collection
Sure.
of like all the new versions of all the Care Bears. So I have them all in my basement. And I kind of forgot about them until you just...
you told someone, and they're on this list. So
yeah,
here
but
we are
it
on
was
this point.
just, it was a passion for
Yeah.
a hot minute.
Is this like Beanie Babies? Like it's an investment?
No.
So it is like Beanie Babies. Then.
Right. No, it was pure nostalgia and joy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. States and license plates. We talked about that.
Tough to do on an island.
Yeah. That's
I'm also
Right.
surprised you didn't mention or that it's come to your attention to be into flags. I feel like someone that's into license plates would be heavily into state flags and country flags.
I am pretty into flags, and I've been doing jet punk, like all the flags of the 196 countries.
That's a good transition because the next one on the list is jet punk. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Jet punk is I'm obsessed with trivia and useless knowledge.
Okay.
Useful and useless knowledge. There's this website that has every single type of quiz that you could possibly take. Like today, I was on a little break and I took Italy, A through Z. So, A was, I don't even remember what it was. E was the island that Napoleon was,
Oh, okay.
Elba. So but like those types of quizzes, and
Sure.
they have quizzes. I've mastered the one with all the state shapes, like the outlines. I can get them all. I know the difference between Colorado and Wyoming.
Good.
But they also have one with all the flags. And so I've been trying to teach myself or to learn all of the flags, and they're tough.
Got it.
I think
Country
I'm
or
only-
states?
Huh?
Countries or states?
Countries. The states are kind of boring, honestly. Most of them are blue and have
Yeah.
that like old colonial
I forgot.
shit in
You
the
play
middle.
at the expert level.
What's your
Yes.
favorite flag?
Bhutan.
Oh, is that the? No, I'm thinking of Nepal that has the
Little two
Nepal is
squiggles
cool
on
too
it.
because
Yeah.
it's the only flag that's like that unique
Not a
shape.
rectangle
But I
or
like
whatever.
Bhutan because there's like a wild ass dragon in the middle of it, and it's
hell yeah.
orange and
dope.
white.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
It sounds like Jet Punk is a website. It sounds like then.
It's a website,
Got
and
it,
I
okay.
think people submit quizzes
Oh, got it.
because you can comment on them and like edit them, or you can't, but you can have them edit. And
Sure.
There's thousands.
It's like Sporkle.
Yeah.
Same
you
thing.
could do. One that I love that I still have not been able to master yet is all the counties in Washington State.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
King.
It's a good
No,
start.
Mitch.
That's it.
It's a good start.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
got two.
Okay.
I think we're coming into trivia on that list. Would be my guess.
It's coming up here. We talked about it before. Martini art is on
I
here.
I honestly don't know what
Okay.
that is. I don't think I added that to the list.
All right. Well, it's here. I'm reading off of
Okay.
it. So, opera singing.
Yes, I love opera.
Do you sing opera?
I did. I was a vocal performance major in college.
Amazing.
And I had season opera tickets for years and years, and now I just go to the ones that I like.
Sure.
Like Carmen's coming up in May. I'll be going to that.
I think we're going to that too.
Yeah?
Oh, that's
Amazing.
nice.
I've seen it probably 5 times in Seattle.
How do you feel about Timothy Chalamet's recent comments about no one cares about ballet or opera at this
I
point?
think
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't agree with him.
Yeah.
And I think
Listen,
he
he's a
is-
regular listener of the pod, so he'll hear this. Be
Right.
careful.
And
Fuck
he's
you,
here right
Timothy.
now.
I think he regrets saying that.
Sure.
Based
I
on all
He
the
probably
backlash.
regrets saying a lot of things.
Yeah.
he said.
Okay. Karaoke.
Yep.
That's a good. I mean, you are
Duh.
a very well accomplished karaoke singer.
Thank you.
Yep. Of course.
I do have a whole list of all my repertoire too, but we don't have to go over that.
Yeah, we can at some point.
No.
Nordic culture. I'm curious how that. Curious how that'd be a hobby.
Well, when you read about it all the time and travel there like 7 times, it's a hobby for me because I just love the history of Scandinavia and the Nordic countries. So when I was about 12, Bjork's debut album came out, and I was obsessed with Bjork. I love her voice. I love her quirkiness. I love her like feminism. She's so unique. So she was from this very exotic place called Iceland, which I was like, there's a place called Iceland. This was back in 1991, 92. This was before, everybody discovered Iceland. So I just got so fascinated with it. And am I going into too much detail?
No. It's just very funny to hear that's before everyone discovered Iceland, because
Right.
You liked it before it was cool.
I mean, Leif Erikson had discovered it, but
sure.
No, but I mean, it wasn't like the vacation destination for everybody. It was before all that. And so it was just this kind of very like rugged, provincial type place in my mind.
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I love the nature. I love the history of the Vikings. I love the show Vikings on Hulu. Highly recommend. I'm a lifelong member of the Nordic Museum, or the National Nordic Museum in Ballard. Also highly recommend. Okay, we can cut this part out now.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to do that. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
To be fair, this list is titled Denise's Hobbies, Obsessions, and Collections.
I get down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Next list, trivia, and then NES, which we have on there. The final one is fraternal orders. Which
here we go.
Fraternal?
Fraternal orders.
You're going to have to clarify this for the group.
So I work in a middle school in kind of rural Redmond, and there's not a lot going out there, or happening out there. So several of my coworkers who have become good friends are members of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles. And so we would have a lot of happy hours there, and you can go as long as you're with a member. And this place is the biggest dive ever. There's not one window. It's just a box, and you walk in, and it's like you've walked into the 1970s or something.
Sure.
Like the bartender's 95, and there's meatloaf on the menu, and it's just, and the drinks are $3. I mean, it's incredible, but it's just so fun to hang out there with your friends and just shoot the shit, and it's just so divey. It's a definition of a dive. So I joined the Order of the Eagles in Redmond, and then I just switched it to the one in Seattle because it's close by.
Would you say all fraternal orders are created evenly or not?
I don't know, because I still haven't been to the Elks.
Oh, well, let's go. I've been trying to get you to go for a minute, so I'm an Elks member for the listeners as well here. So.
It is interesting because my great-great-grandfather was a Freemason.
Oh.
So maybe that's where it stems from.
Let's roll it into the conspiracy episode. Here we go.
Yeah. That's my dog.
There you have it. That's the full list, right, Mitch?
That was
the list.
All of them?
Oh no, but there's a potential.
Oh yeah, there was potential was tofu making as well too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Love tofu.
No, you said soap making already.
Tofu making.
Yeah, it's a
joke.
I get
Catch
it.
up, Denise.
I'm slow, guys.
Use your bike.
I'm slow. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get. It's really quite the process. So I think I'll just continue to buy it at Trader Joe's.
Fair.
That was a great list. I really do think you made the right 3 choices. There's a couple others that would have been good on a desert island, but I think you chose well.
Agreed.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Denise, thank you so much for coming on. This is definitely the only episode where I've ever actually learned anything. So
Well, that hurts my feelings.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
okay, we have some travel coming up, so we are going to take a week off after this episode airs, but we will be back soon with more Desert Island podcasts. In the meantime, please follow us on Instagram at The Desert Island Pod. Check out the show notes on our website at thedesertislandpod.com. Follow the reviews wherever you get your podcasts, or email us episode ideas to thedesertislandpod@gmail.com. Thank you for visiting us on the island, and please send help.